Hi guys, it's Carly. So good to see you all again. We are here for some more VinyasaGentle flow. So let's get started on our backs today. Come onto your back. And then take up as much space as you want, spreading the feet wide. Allow the arms to spread wide. Feet drop open, palms face up. Settling in here, softening from head to toe. Bring awareness back to your breath. Take that full breath inhale all the way to the top. Fill it all the way up. And a long breath exhale. Let it all go. Another full breath inhale, filling it all the way up. Expand the rib cage. Long breath exhale. Let it all go. And so we all find ourselves now in this transitional space. This is that space where one thing ends and another thing begins, whether it's a relationship or a job or anything where one door closes and the other one opens. And this is not an easy place to be in. It can be scary and uncomfortable. You may even find that you're grieving, mourning the place that you were before. But this space right here has the amazing opportunity to help us learn more about who we are so that we can come out even stronger on the other side. And that's what we explore today. Bringing awareness now back to your breath. Take that full breath inhale all the way to the top. Fill it all the way up. Long breath exhale. Let it all go. Another full breath inhale, filling it all the way up. Expand the rib cage. Long breath exhale, letting it all go. Now on the inhale, bring the knees into the chest. Wrap arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees. Exhale, lower the knees over to the right side as you twist and gaze over to the left. Simple supine spinal twist. And so that door to our normal lives just closed. And the door to our hopefully normal life hasn't quite opened yet. We're in this limbo, this space. But we don't have to let it take control. We don't have to let it get us down. Yoga teaches us that we can have happiness anytime we want. We don't have to wait for that door to open again. We can find joy right here and right now. We just have to be open to it. Bringing knees back through center. Wrap arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees on the inhale. Exhale, lower knees over to the left side as you twist and gaze over to the right. Simple supine spinal twist. So instead of focusing on being in this transitional space and being awkward and uncomfortable, focus on the joy. Focus on the love, focus on the happiness that's all around you. Those amazing things that haven't been canceled. Love has not been canceled, neither has joy. So find those things in your life right now. Take that focus deep. On the inhale, bring the knees back through center. Wrap arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees. On your exhale, beginning to rock long on the spine, forward and back. As you rock forward, the feet begin to touch. As you rock back of the head touches, picking up momentum here. Next time you come forward, come to seated, then right into tabletop pose, hands and knees on your inhale. Exhale, draw crown of the head forward, lengthening the spine. Inhale, lift your gaze, drop the belly, send the tailbone up high. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, draw the navel in and up. Inhale, lift the gaze, drop the belly, send the tailbone high. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, draw the navel in and up. Take a few more rounds of cat-cow here on your own to the rhythm of your own breath. You can stay with this simple cat-cow flow, or you can make it a little bit bigger here. So as you pass through neutral tabletop pose on your inhale, exhale, keep the arms straight, shift the shoulders past the wrists, rolling it forward. The hips roll forward into cobra pose. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Inhale here, exhale, inhale, press it back up to tabletop. Exhale, sit your hips back to your heels, find child's pose. Connect the forehead to the ground, arms come long in front of you. On your inhale, press it back up to tabletop. Exhale, keeping the arms straight, shift shoulders past the wrists, roll it forward. Lift the chest, lift the gaze, cobra pose. On your inhale, pressing back up to tabletop. Exhale, sit your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Taking a few more rounds of this bigger flow to the rhythm of your own breath. You can always go back to cat-cow. You can hang out in child's pose anytime you like. This is always your practice. So do what works for you in your body. And one more cycle of breath here. Finding your last flow through whichever one you chose. Meet me back in tabletop pose, hands and knees. On your inhale. Exhale, draw crown of the head forward, lengthening the spine. Now on your inhale, sweep the right arm out to the side, up high, reach it long, the gaze goes up. Exhale, bring the right hand down, thread it underneath the body. So the back of the right hand, right shoulder, right cheek or temple, they come down to touch the ground. The left arm can drape across the low back. Maybe you find a little bind on the hip crease on the other side. Or if that's not comfortable, extend the left arm long in front of you with the palm touching the ground. Maybe check out both those options, see what works for you, and then bring your awareness back to your breath. Following the inhales here to the top, follow the exhales all the way back out. This is part of the magic in this practice, is staying present, staying focused on the joy, focused on the love. On your inhale, use your left hand. Slowly press yourself up through hands and knees. Sweep the right arm out to the side, up high, reach long, gaze goes up. Exhale, right hand comes back down. On your inhale, sweep the left arm out to the side, up high, reach it up, gaze goes up. Exhale, bring the left hand down, thread it underneath the body. So back of the left hand, left shoulder, left cheek or temple come down to touch the ground. Now that right arm can drape across the low back, or you can extend it long in front of you with your palm touching the ground. Again, find what works for you, maybe different on this side, and then bring your awareness right back to your breath. Stay connected here. On the inhale, use your right hand. Slowly press yourself back up through hands and knees. Sweep the left arm out to the side, up high, reach it high, gaze goes up. Exhale, left hand comes back down. On the inhale, come down onto the forearms, then slide the elbows forward, straightening the arms. You're melting the chest and the forehead toward the ground, extended puppy pose. Your hips stay stacked over your knees here. Forehead touches the ground, the chest probably won't, but you can press it down toward the ground. Feeling that stretch to the upper back and the neck and the shoulders. Now on the inhale, slowly press yourself back up through hands and knees. On your exhale, sit your hips back to your heels. Find child's pose, but this time with your knees together. So bring the knees super close to touching together, sitting the hips back to the heels. Arms now come long behind you. Connect the hands to the heels. So you're taking that bind with the hands on the heels. Keep that connection. Forehead connects to the ground here. Keep the forehead connected. Now on your inhale, slowly begin to lift the hips up. Just a slight movement. As you do that, you'll roll onto the crown of the head. So it's not a huge movement here. You're feeling the stretch in the upper back and the shoulders. Keep the connection to the feet with your hands. The legs stay attached to the ground. This is rabbit pose. One more inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower the hips back down toward the heels. Extend fingertips toward the top of the mat. Allow elbows to lift. Exhale, slide hands back towards your shoulders and rise up to tabletop pose, hands and knees. Inhale here. Exhale, tuck the toes. Shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So pedal out the feet here. Sway the hips from side to side. Find any movement that works for you in this first down dog. You can bend one knee at a time, root down one heel at a time. Maybe bend that right knee, shift the hips over to the right, and then take your gaze under the left shoulder toward the ceiling. And switching sides, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, hip shift to the left, gaze under the right shoulder toward the ceiling. Switching back and forth through the sides. And then one more cycle of breath here before we find stillness so we can make a few adjustments. First, start by spreading all 10 fingers super wide. Take up space with your hands on the mat and then press the floor away with your hands. Shift the weight out of the upper body into the hips and thighs. Sink the heels to the ground even more. Turning the arm bones in so armpits more face the ears. Drop ears past the biceps, chest toward the thighs. Gaze between the upper thighs, maybe even the navel. Now on your inhale, soften the knees. The gaze goes forward. Walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Toes come up to the wrists, palms come down. Just look up to lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Sweep the arms up overhead. Palms touch, gaze goes up. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands come down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank, top of a push-up, pausing here. So first option to modify chaturanga, lower knees to the ground, uncurl toes, shift shoulders past the wrists, bend elbows, hug them in tight, lower all the way to the belly. From here, hover the hands, lift the chest up to baby cobra, press the tops of the feet down, inhale, exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press yourself up through hands and knees, exhale, tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So that's one option to modify. There's also a couple other ones. On the inhale, soften the knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop this time to the top of the mat. Toes to the wrists, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, sweep arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. Exhale, forward fold, both hands down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank, top of a push-up, pausing here. So this time, lower the knees down to the ground, uncurl toes, shift shoulders past the wrist, bend elbows, hug them in tight, lower all the way to the belly. Now, pressing into the palms, lift the chest up on your inhale, maybe low cobra, straighten the arms for full cobra pose. Stay here, or one step further, press into the tops of the feet, lift the thighs off the ground, roll the heart space forward. There's your upward facing dog. On your exhale, you can pass through hands and knees if you need to, tuck the toes, shift hips up and back, downward facing dog. So lots of options there. Take whatever works for you, modify, or if you have full chaturanga to up dog, go for it. On your inhale, soften knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop to the top. Toes to the wrist, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, sweep your arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, both hands down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank, top of a push-up, flow through chaturanga your way. Inhale, roll heart forward to baby cobra, cobra pose or upward facing. Exhale, over the toes, downward facing dog. On the inhale, soften knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop to the top. Toes to the wrist, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, big toes to touch this time as you squat deep, chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms up high, sink your hips down low. So squeeze the knees together here, pull the arm bones back in space. Roll the bottom of the heart space toward the ceiling, sink a little lower. Inhale, on the exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, flow through, chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step that right foot forward between the palms. The back knee comes down to the ground, uncurl toes. Inhale, arms up over high. Palms touch, gaze goes up. Take that Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Sinking deep into the front knee. So sink a little deeper here. As you do that, that front knee will start to shift forward, feeling it in front of the left hip. Sink a little deeper on one more inhale. On your exhale, interlace fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, take that hover over the front knee. So this is just a hover here. Chest hovers over the thigh. Squeeze shoulder blades, squeeze the core. Try to send that one big fist all the way back. Inhale to rise back up, release your bind, arms up high, gaze goes up. Now on your exhale, take the arms to a T. Finding eagle arms on the right, cross your right arm under the left, forearms together, palms together. Lift the elbows shoulder height, lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, bow it forward, nice and slow. So elbow to knee or even past the knee here. Inhale to rise back up, lift the chest, keep your bind. Exhale, bow it forward once more, elbows to knee. Inhale, rise back up, lift your chest. On the exhale, unwind the bind, sweep the arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. Exhale, both hands come back down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee up, send that right foot back, flow through, chaturanga. Inhale, roll hard forward. Modify as needed, lift the thighs, exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. On your inhale, the left leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step your left foot forward between the palms. Back knee comes down to the ground, uncurl toes. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So sink a little deeper here. Left knee starts to shift forward more, feeling it in front of that right hip. Reach even higher, expand the side body. One more inhale. Exhale, interlace fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift that chest. Exhale, take that hover over the front knee. So just a hover here again. Gaze goes forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, squeeze the core, sending that one big fist back behind you. On the inhale, rise back up as you release that bind. Arms go up overhead, take the gaze up. Exhale, arms back to a T. Eagle arms on the left this time. Left crosses under the right. Forearms together, hands together. Elbows lift shoulder height, lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, bow it forward. Nice and slow, elbows to knee or even past the knee. Inhale, rise back up. Keep your bind, lift the chest. Exhale, bow it forward, nice and slow. Inhale, rise back up, lift your chest. On your exhale, unwind the bind, sweep the arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, send your left foot back, flow through, chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, lift those thighs, modify as needed. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Take a full breath, inhale here, all the way to the top. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. Lower knees to the ground, uncurl toes. Sit your hips back to your heels. Find child's pose here for just a few breaths. So coming to child's pose, anytime you need a break, this is your resting pose. Come right back here, catch your breath, and rejoin anytime you're ready. Take a full breath, inhale all the way to the top. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. On the inhale, extend fingertips to the top of the mat. Allow elbows to lift. Exhale, slide hands back towards the shoulders. Rise back up. Tabletop pose, hands and knees on your inhale. Exhale, tuck toes, shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. On your inhale, right leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step your right foot forward between the palms. This time, blade of the back foot comes in and down as you rise up to warrior one. Arms up high, sink deep into that front knee. So super strong through that back leg, sink deep in that front knee. Shoulders stack over the hips here, reaching high. One more inhale. On your exhale, interlace fingers behind the back. Lift your chest. Inhale. Exhale, bow it forward. Just a hover though this time. Chest hovers over the thigh. Gaze is forward. Again, squeeze shoulder blades, squeeze core. Send that fist back. Inhale, rise back up, release your bind, arms up high, gaze goes up. On your exhale, arms to a T. Find those eagle arms on the right. Right crosses under left. Lift the elbows, lift the chest. Inhale, then exhale, bow it forward. Nice and slow, bow it in. Inhale, rise back up, lift your chest. On your exhale, unwind the bind. Arms back up overhead, gaze goes up. Warrior one. Now from here, keep those arms lifted, but take that same hover over the front knee on your exhale. So hovering the chest over the thigh, but reaching the arms forward in lightning bolt. Tighten the core, send the fingertips toward the front of the room. One more inhale here. On your exhale, airplane the arms. Arms come long behind you. You can stay right here or challenge yourself. Step into that front foot, lift the back leg high in the air to warrior three with those airplane arms or airplane posture. The secret here is to lift the chest, roll the heart space forward, make it feel like upward facing dog, and then lift the back leg higher. It's almost arching that back. Feel the arch here. One more inhale, lock the eyes. On your exhale, land your lifted foot down behind you. Open up big to warrior two. Right arms long in front, sink deep in that front knee. So just check out the front knee. It tracks toward the right pinky toe. Tracking toward the right, don't want it to collapse inward. Shoulders right over the hips. Gaze over those front fingertips. On your inhale, flip the palms, take it back, reverse the warrior. Exhale, right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm dives up and over the head. Fingertips point toward the front. Then take your gaze up to those lifted fingertips. Now from here, press your hips forward and then roll the heart space open by pulling that top shoulder back in space. Inhale to rise back up. Flip your palms, take it back, reverse the warrior. Long through the side body, sink a little deeper in that front knee. On your exhale, come back up through center, straighten the front leg. Reach long with your right fingertips, bring upper body all the way forward for length first. Then right hand comes down, left arm straight up in the air, triangle pose. Right hand to the top of the foot, top of the shin, ground outside the foot, whatever works for you. Take the gaze toward the ceiling, and then just like side angle, press hips forward as you roll the heart space open. Inhale, rise back up, bend your front knee, flip palms, take it back, reverse the warrior. Exhale, both hands come back down to the ground, frame the front foot, send that right foot back and flow through, chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step the left foot forward between the palms, blade of the back foot in and down. Rise up, warrior one, sink deep in that front knee. Shoulders stack over the hips here, reaching super high, squaring off toward the front of the room. One more inhale. On the exhale, interlace fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, take that same hover over the front knee. Gaze stays forward though. Squeeze the core, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then that one big fist presses back. Inhale to rise back up, release your bind, arms up high, gaze goes up. Exhale, arms to a T, eagle arms on the left, left under right, lift the elbows, lift the chest. Inhale, then exhale, bow it forward. Nice and slow, elbows to knee or even past the knee here. Inhale to rise back up, lift your chest. On the exhale, unwind your bind, arms up overhead, gaze goes up, back to warrior one. Take an inhale here, then on the exhale, keep arms lifted as you take that hover over the front knee into lightning bolt. So reaching long, tighten through the core here. Full breath inhale. Exhale, extend the arms long behind you, airplane the arms. Option to stay right here or take that challenge. Step into the front foot, back leg lifts, warrior three. So lift the chest forward, roll the heart space forward, make it feel like cobra or upward facing dog. The back leg lifts even higher to meet it. There's that balance you're looking for. One more inhale here. Exhale, land your lifted foot down behind you. Open up big, warrior two. Sink deep in that front knee. Tracking that front knee toward that left pinky toe. Gaze over the front fingertips, shoulders right over the hips. Now on your inhale, flip the palms, take it back, reverse your warrior, long through the side body, but don't lose your deep bend in that front knee. On the exhale, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm dives up and over the head, fingertips point forward, gaze to those lifted fingertips. Now press those hips forward as you roll the heart space open. Pull that top shoulder back in space. Inhale to rise back up, flip the palms, take it back, reverse your warrior. On the exhale, come back up through center, straighten that front leg, reach long with your left fingertips all the way forward for length, then left hand down, right arm lifts, gaze goes up, triangle pose. So that left hand to the top of the foot, top of the shin, ground outside the foot, whatever works for you. Press those hips forward as you roll the heart space open. Make it feel like your back is pressed up against the wall behind you. Inhale to rise back up, bend that front knee, flip palms, take it back, reverse the warrior. Gaze goes up. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Frame the front foot, send that left foot back, and flow through that very last chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, lift the thighs. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Full breath, inhale here, all the way to the top. And now a long breath, exhale, let it all go. Lower knees to the ground, uncurl toes. Sit your hips back to your heels. Find that child's pose here for a few breaths. And so even in our yoga practice, we can sometimes rush those transitions because, the posture's so much more exciting than getting in between, getting from one place to the next. But it's really that journey in between that is so important, even when it's really hard, like it is right now for all of us in the entire world. But we have the opportunity to come out stronger on the other end. We just have to do a little bit of work while we're here. So find all the love, find all the joy, everything that makes you happy right here and right now. Focus on that, and that's going to get you through. On your inhale, extend fingertips to the top of the mat. Allow elbows to lift. Exhale, slide the hands back towards the shoulders, rising back up through hands and knees. Tabletop pose on your inhale. Exhale, shift shoulders past the wrists, bend elbows, lower all the way to the belly. Legs come long behind you. Arms come long behind you as well. And then turning one of your cheeks to the ground. On your inhale, bring the chin or the lips to touch the ground. On your exhale, interlace fingers behind the back. Bring the feet super close together. Now inhale, engage the quads, lift the chest and the thighs up off the ground. Shalabhasana, locust pose. So send that one big fist back towards your toes and then send the toes to the back of the room. Lift the chest even higher here. One more inhale. Exhale, release it all the way back down. Release the hands, release that bind. Arms come to the sides. Turn your opposite cheek to the ground. Inhale, chin or lips come back to touch the ground. This time, bend the knees. Heels come towards your hips. Reach back, grab onto the outsides of the feet or the ankles. Bring the knees closer together so they're not splayed out. Now on your inhale, kick your feet into your hands. Lift the chest and the thighs up off the ground. Dhanurasana, floor bow. So this one is controlled by that kick. Kick your feet even harder into your hands and you'll see the chest lift even higher. Gaze forward, chest lifts even more. One more inhale here. Exhale, release it back down. You can keep the knees bent here. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth, resetting. And when you're ready, extend the legs long behind you. Arms come long to your sides. Turn the opposite cheek to the ground. Inhale, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Slowly press the chest up, pressing yourself up to tabletop pose, hands and knees. Inhale here. Exhale, swing the legs around in front of you. Come to seated with legs long in front. So bring the legs together, flex the feet, toes point straight up to the ceiling. Inhale to sit up so tall for length. On your exhale, hinge at the waist, take that forward fold, reaching for the outsides of the feet. Using the feet, that grip on the feet, to pull the chest down towards your thighs. If you're not able to reach the feet, no worries at all. Just bend your knees as much as you need to. Attach the belly to the thighs there. You can pull the chest down even more, but you're protecting the spine. Inhale to rise back up, shoulders stack over the hips. Now on your exhale, bend the knees, soles of the feet come to the ground, hands behind the back. Lower yourself all the way down to your back. Keeping the knees bent here. Inhale to bring the right knee into the chest. Lay that right ankle on top of the left knee, or left thigh right behind the knee. You can stay right here in this figure four or reach through. Grab onto your left thigh, pull that left thigh into your chest. So a couple different options here, taking the grip behind the left thigh with the knee bent or with the leg extended, or taking the grip in front of the left shin. It'll make it a little more intense. This is your modification for pigeon pose. Anytime you're asked to do pigeon pose, if it never works in your body, come right here. This is that modification, recline pigeon. One more inhale here. On your exhale, lower that left foot back down to the ground, but don't uncross the legs. Keep the leg crossed. Walk the left foot to the left edge of your mat, and then lower the knees over to the right side. Arms come to a T, gaze goes to your left. Taking a little deeper supine spinal twist. Inhale to bring the knees back through center, uncrossing the legs, right foot comes back down, switching sides. Inhale, left knee into the chest, cross the left ankle over the left thigh, right behind the knee. Now staying here or reach through, grab onto that right thigh and pull it in towards your chest. So a couple options here. You can keep that grip behind the right thigh with the leg bent or extended, or you can take that grip in front of the right shin. Using this as a modification for pigeon if needed. One more inhale here. On the exhale, lower the right foot back down to the ground, but keep the legs crossed. From here on the inhale, walk the right foot to the right edge of the mat, and then on the exhale, lower the knees over to the left, arms to a T, gaze to the right. Inhale, bringing the knees back through center, uncrossing the legs so the left foot comes back down. Inhale, bring the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the shins, forehead comes up to the knees. Hugging it in so very tightly here. One last time. Take that full breath inhale all the way to the top, fill it all the way up. Now a long breath, exhale, let it all go. Legs come long in front of you, arms come long to your sides. Taking up space here, spread the feet wide, arms can spread wide. Take up as much space as you want. Coming back to that simple breath, seal the eyes and take rest. So you take as long as you want at home. Enjoy your Shavasana. These guys are gonna take theirs, and we will see you real soon. Thank you so much. Namaste.